Hi, I bring you another exciting video. Most people tell me my voice is a bit boring. I'm sorry about that. Maybe one day I'll use some sort of AI translation or pay someone to do it. At the end of the day, who better for it to come from than the person who made the site? So this session is going to be on the workshop, little tool that I sort of created for myself offline. Then I built the rest of this site around the alerts and thought to myself, why don't we put it on the site? Someone might find it useful. I certainly found it useful. So let's move straight to the workshop and I'll explain exactly what it is. Well, the workshop is where you bring your items in, you get ready, and you resell the items. It's sort of the log for that. It tracks fees, it tracks your parts that you're using, the costs, and then shows you a profit and loss at the end. Don't use this in replacement for any accounting software you got, but it's kind of a one-stop shop. You might be using the alerts to buy a load of stuff, and then you might want to log them through here and buy some parts and find some stuff. So it's like a one-stop shop. I'm going to show you kind of what it does. So yeah, it really is repair and resell, but it could be just collectibles or something. You can still log them through here. You just wouldn't be repairing them. So this is a log really of your devices. You're going to repair them. Then you're going to resell them. You can resell them on eBay, where we will account for the fees in here, or you can sell them offline, in which case there won't be any fees, and it'll just calculate your sort of profit. And remember, you've got alerts, resell alerts, which actually show you products that are going to make profit. You buy them, and then you can log them into here. Let's start. I'm just going to start with not the simple area. I'm going to start with parts bin a minute. So what I decided to make this as easy as possible is you're buying something, you might be using a part to repair it. You're going to get it from somewhere. You're going to have to pay for it, right? Or you're going to take it from another device. This is why there's a parts bin. So the way I got it set up is initially the profit figure from the alert will use an estimated number. In here, we use sort of an estimated number if you link it back to that alert, but you need to use actual parts. So let's put a little part in. Let's just pretend PS5 PSU. So we've got a power, and I've just paid, and I actually bought one of these not too long ago. Let's say you paid £50 or whatever your currency is. You can put a note. Don't forget, put your own IDs in, etc. If you want to. We can put that in the inventory. That's an asset now. So we've now got one PS5 PSU here. Right? These are different logs. They should have a different reference, really, right? Just below. And you got one in stock. What am I doing? I'm logging a job. You see this? I can link it to a resell alert. So if you set up a resell alert, I can link it to that, and that will pull in some of these costs. So like, how much do I think I will sell it at, including this BPF here, right? Which is different if you change the selling platform to vintage. You see that? No longer says that, or Amazon or whatever. Don't I get the fact they've probably got their own fees, but at the moment I'm only integrated with eBay. So we're just saying no fees, but just bear in mind there will be fees on some of these platforms, obviously. But direct like a car boot sale, or you're selling it in a shop, won't. But we do have eBay's integrated, whether it be BPF or whether it be business fees, etc. If you're a business, go into settings, turn business on, and it'll calculate the business fees, which, as you probably know, are different to private seller fees. And we're going to bring a device in. You can bring it in. This is the steps. So we're going to have in transit, it's on way. We bought it. Work in progress. We're working on it. We're fixing it. We're testing it. We're doing whatever we need to do. Listed. You list it on eBay. You list it somewhere. Sold. That's your sold reporting. Scrapped. Scrapped is quite interesting. I've had that many times myself. You're basically either scrapping it, you might just resell it without repairing it, or you might take it apart, and that's what scrap does. You can take the product apart and store the parts in the parts bin, and a value of the product will be added to the parts bin, and then any losses that you got after that will be accounted for in the profit and loss. So we're going to bring in this PS5 no power. I'm going to put the source. It's up to you what you put, obviously. How much did I pay? I paid 100. Parts cost. This is the estimated parts cost. We're going to leave that there, 20. It's probably going to be a higher other cost if you want to put it in. Postage pulled in and packaging pulled in from the alert. You don't have to. You can do it all yourself. Date purchased today. Any notes you want to put. You see a little bit down here. This calculating estimated profit 163. If we repair it with the £20 parts cost, we've got the postage and we've got the packaging. And we sell it for 300. I can tell you, you're not going to sell a PS5 For 300, it's more going to be 240, etc. But this is just for the purpose of showing you the numbers. But remember, of the expected price you're selling at, the BPS 1221, the seller doesn't get that, as you know, right? It's a little way of eBay hiding the fee. Is just to pass it on really to the buyer. It's still, on your product cost. So we logged that job. Now we're in the in-transit account. We can see this job logged, and you can see the numbers. So you've got 100 buy price, estimated parts cost. So we're going to have an estimated total cost currently of 120, listing cost 300, etc., etc. Right? And it's been, how long has it been logged? Is it listed source? Now you can get to work on it. So it's just arrived, let's say, and we put it into work in progress. Moves it to the work in progress. So all in here, it tells you the assets that you've got in stock at the moment and their value really. And let's have a look. So if we go across, now we can say, what are we going to do? We're going to fix this device, but we're going to use the PSU, look, 1 times 50. So we're going to incorporate the part. So what you get now is the estimated parts disappears. Now it'll take the buy and the actual parts to give you the total cost and the listing price, giving you the estimated profit, not forgetting there's a few fees behind the scenes that it'll calculate, and then all this sort of stuff. You've got the scrap, which we will show you in a minute. You've got the market sold, etc. I'm going to complete this one. So I am going to, first of all, send it into listed. Let's get it off this page, right? Or to the bottom, shall we say. So now we've got listed. We think we're going to set it on eBay, so it's incorporating the eBay fees. Turn it off, it won't incorporate. Let's say it's marked as sold, and we didn't get 300. We got 250, which is probably a more accurate number. We confirm the sell. You could put your listing ID there, etc. So now we go to sold. We can see the sold listing, the numbers, return on investment, etc., including it's used the part towards it. Now what you'll see in the P&L, if you run let's do profit summary first. There's a bit of profit, some numbers here. Then you go to the P&L. You can run date range P&L. What you're going to notice is, let's see. What you're going to notice is the PS5 is here. So that's the in. That's your revenue. Then it takes the costs away, right? It takes your BPF away because you're not getting that BPF from the customer anyway. It might be 250, but the BPF is there. I think you should account for BPF as a fee. I don't believe it was done right. I believe it's very confusing. I don't think it's very good, but anyway. Device cost paid 100, parts 50, shipping out and packaging. Remember, you changed those fees earlier, right? Those, boom, giving you, I've made 85, 71. Pretty nice. That would be a good repair if that was true. And you get some good money. You move on. You can do another one. I think what we're saying, the profit summary, you have the parts bin, you have the scrap. I think it'd be quite interesting just to do a little scrap. So what we'll do is we'll chuck another PS5 device in, right? And let's just chuck that in with a 200 and a 300 there. Just really quickly throw this device in, right? Because what I want to show is what you can do with the device. And by the way, you hit the find button, it'll take you to the manual scan. You can find something very quick, right? If you use the site, you'll see that. If you hit the scrap, then this is what's going to happen. It's going to say, are you recovering anything? So I'm recovering the PS5 SSD, right? What is the value you would assign to that normal SSD? It's probably about 40 or whatever, right? Add. You see that now? So we have a device cost of 200. Now we have a recovery value of 40. Now we recover the PS5 PSU. And I'm going to say that, as we seen earlier, was about 50. So we'll recover that. Now the device has recovered 90. However, I'm going to say that's it. Unfortunately, that's all I'm going to recover. those goes into the parts bin. Now the parts are there with the recovered value. But the problem is you just got the poor scrappage, which is not great, which means you've lost money. So where's that going to have to show? It's going to have to show in the P&L as a loss, which is, here we go, 200 lost, 90 recovered into the parts bin. So you're seeing a nice bad loss there, and that's why you're there. As I was alluding to earlier, if you're a business and you change your business settings, all the fees in here change. If you say you're VAT registered as well, they'll change and they'll remove the VAT because, of course, VAT should be 100% recoverable. So VAT is removed from some of the fees, etc. So a business has a selling fee these days, depending on what country you're in, and it's certainly in the UK. And then a private seller has the BPF added to their product selling price, which is just a way of hiding it, really. Let's be honest. And that's how you track it and keep that running. It's pretty nice. Hopefully you'll find it good. I'll make sure that that little grid doesn't move like that. What's the point? It's almost the size of the screen. I hope you find it useful. Any questions? Make sure you go to the contact form and send them over. Cheers.